होमज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। गुरवे गौरचन्द्राय राधिकायै सदावये कृष्णाय कृष्णभक्ताय तद्भक्ताय नमो नमः। वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्यैव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। कालिन्दीतनतटया सुरदमन्दवृन्दावनं विहाय लवनाम्बुदं पुलिनपुष्पवाटिं गता दित अरुणा कपटसुपीतवासहरि तिरोहित निजछवि श्रीगौराङ्ग मे गतिम्। अजानुलम्बितो भुजौ कनकवदातो संकीर्तनेकपित्रो कमलायताक्षो विशम्बरो द्विजवरो युगधर्मपालो वन्दे जगत्प्रियकरो करुणावतारो। नारायणं नमस्कृत्यं नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरये। यं प्रव्रजन्तमनुपेतकृत्यं द्वैपायनविरह कातराजुवाः पुत्रेति तन्मयतया तर्वो विनिर्दुष्टं सर्वभूतहृदयं मुनिमानतोऽस्मि। भक्त्या विहीनाय अपराधलक्षै क्षिप्तस्य कामादितरङ्गमध्ये कृपामयि तं शरणं प्रपन्ना वृन्दे नमस्ते चरणारविन्दम्। श्रीकृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद। बोलो हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। एक बार फिर से बोलो हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। श्री राधा Tattva. We just heard this song which explains the glories of Radharani and the glories of Radharani's prem. यदि गौरंग न है तो तबे की है तो केमन धोरिते दे। राधार महिमा प्रेमे रस सीमा जगते जनातो के। श्री नरहरि सरकार is explaining the deep tattva why Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu appeared, or we can say what is the reason of Shri Gaurang Mahaprabhu to appear in Kali Yuga. Okay? To explain the glories of Radharani. That's the only purpose of Krishna, the prime purpose of Krishna, to come in this age of Kali, this iron age of Kali. What's the meaning of this verse? If Shri Gauranga had not appeared, then what would have been become of us? How would we have survived? Oh, many people, they don't know about Gaurang Mahaprabhu, but they're surviving. The entire world is surviving. They don't know about Mahaprabhu. What is this survival means here? Who could have taught the world about the glories of Srimati Radharani? That is surviving. How we would have known the glories of Sri Radharani and the topmost limit of Prem Ras. What is the topmost limit of Prem Ras? Who explained to us? Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Otherwise, we would have not known about this. And we would have just died without understanding what is the meaning of prem, what is the meaning of that uh, pure love between Radha and Krishna. As Krishna said, Aham sarvasva prabhavo matta sarvam prabhavartate. I am the Lord of everyone, and everything emanates from me. When you say everything emanates from me, means his loving devotional practice or love at his lotus feet also manifests from him, but through Radharani, his pleasure-giving potency. So in the pastime of Krishna, he was so uh, involved with expanding those pastimes and reciprocating with his Brajavasis, the inhabitants of Braj. But when Krishna came as Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, as Gauranga Mahaprabhu, then the whole world, the whole universe came to know the glories of Radharani. When Krishna adopted the mood of Radharani, what happens to Krishna? As Gauranga Mahaprabhu, he displayed this. He showed this to the whole world. So how would we have survived? We here means the devotees of Mahaprabhu. We here means Gaudiya Vaishnavas. We here also means the entire world. But if they can understand what is the meaning of true love, Shuddha Prem, how they will know this? Only by mercy of Mahaprabhu. And this is what's our subject from some days. How we can understand that prema of Radharani for Krishna. So we are hearing what Radharani has to direct, what she has to say this about her own prema for Krishna. This is a lecture given by Radharani directly to Krishna, where Krishna is not showing that he's Krishna, where Krishna is showing that he's one ordinary heavenly girl, a beautiful heavenly girl came from heaven, and Krishna himself disguised as a beautiful heavenly girl and criticizing himself. Means he's criticizing Krishna, saying he don't know any moral conduct, he don't know any religious conduct, he don't know how to understand the language of prema. And Radharani speaking this. What is the meaning of prema? What is the definition of prema? Okay. So yesterday we heard something about this. Going to continue about that. Radharani is saying, prema is incomparable and it can only be experienced by itself. We cannot compare prema with any other object. Although we try to compare, I love you so much, and then we give some comparison. In this material world. But every day I'm saying this. Whatever we are hearing, this is all about the prem which Radharani has for Krishna. And we can imagine that crosses all these limits, they cross all these abodes. It's beyond this material world. Prema is incomparable. It can, and it can only be experienced by itself. No one can explain this. As we heard yesterday, no language can explain about prema. There's no language. And there is no need to express. And if it is be expressed, then it is diminishing. Then it's diminishing. Yeah. Language cannot illuminate it. Oh, what language we need to express prema? What language? English, Spanish, Portuguese, Dutch, Hindi? No. Language cannot illuminate it. Srila Bhakti Vigyan Bharti Goswami Maharaj, he used to give an example. If a mother and her son, they're walking in the street and something happened, accident happened, and son died right on the roadside. So in whatever language she is crying, everyone who's passing by can understand what she wants to say. Anyone who's passing by can see, can understand, no matter whatever language she's expressing there. Because that's pain. So language cannot illuminate it. And it cannot be understood by hearing about it from one in whose heart it has not manifested. Who will explain the language of prema? If you don't have the if we don't understand what is the meaning of prema, how are we going to explain this? In other words, there's a direct instruction. Those premi bhaktas, those acharyas who keep Krishna in their heart, Krishna se tomar, Krishna dite paro, tomar shakati ache. Ami to kangal, Krishna Krishna boli, dhai tava pache pache. Those are our acharyas, Srila Gurudev, Srila Prabhupada, Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur, and Goswamis, all acharyas. They're having this prema in their heart, and only they can explain the language of prema. Whereas anyone who don't know this language, because prema means sacrifice. If we can't sacrifice, we can't understand the language of prema. Sacrifice. How much we can be tolerant in that sacrifice. If we try to compare Radharani's sacrifice, Krishna's sacrifice, and Radharani is more than Krishna, that's pain. It is simply fruitless labor to try to understand or explain prema. Fruitless labor. Because understanding it is purely dependent upon experiencing it. No matter how much we can say, speak, or hear. But if we can't experience this, we can't understand this. Experiencing is very important. That means we need some emotions. That needs a person needs some sentiments. That means it cannot be manifest in a dry heart. So all those, see, these words of Radharani, what she is explaining, all philosophy is there. It's not just some romantic language she's using. But if we go very deep into each and every sentence she's saying to Krishna, the whole philosophy is there. Because understanding it is purely dependent upon experiencing it. Those yogis, hatha yogis, those karmis, materialistic person who always practicing their uh, and aiming their goal, how can they experience this prema? Because it cannot be with any yoga process, or it cannot be with any rituals, worldly rituals. Cannot be possible because they can't experience this, they can't understand this. Who experienced this? Bhaktas. Right from the beginning, Bhaktas start practicing. Krishna arthe akhil bhog tyag. For Krishna, sacrificing everything. Akhil bhog tyag. For the pleasure of Krishna, not for my own pleasure. Oh, if someone say I'm diabetic, I cannot take sugar anymore, so no sweets. So I'm renouncing sweets. I'm sacrificing sweets. But is Krishna is the center of that renunciation? No. I'm just keeping my health as the center of my renunciation. But when Krishna is the center, that I'm healthy, I can eat sweets, and I love sweets. But 1 month Purushottam month, and then 1 month Kartik month, I will not take any sweets. I'm giving the best thing which I like, sacrificing to cultivate my Krishna consciousness for the sake of Krishna. Just one example, but there are many things like that. And that's called a limb of Sharnagati, Anukulasya Sankalpam, Pratikulasya Vivarjanam. Accepting those things which are favorable to bhakti, rejecting those things which are unfavorable to bhakti. That's the beginning stage. The prem which Radharani is speaking about is not an ordinary prem. It's not that ordinary prem. Shraddha, sadhusang, bhajan kriya, anath nivritti, nishta, ruchi, asakti, bhav, prem, sneha, मान, प्रणय, राग, अनुराग, मोदन, मादन, मदनाख्य महाभाव, रूढ़ अरिरूढ़, मोदन, मादन, मदनाख्य महाभाव. She's speaking about that prem. Totally different language. That's why incomparable. Cannot compare with any other thing. We can't even compare the limbs of Krishna to any material object of this world. Even though we say, Krishna, your eyes are lotus, lotus-like eyes. Your navel is like lotus. Your feet are lotus. Your hands are lotus. But in Madhurya Kadambini, Shri Vishnu Chakur Thakur explains, a devotee comes from the stage of bhav. And the first glimpse of Krishna, devotee, the sadhak, by seeing Krishna directly, eye to eye contact, he asks for forgiveness. Please forgive me, Krishna. Please forgive me. Krishna said, for what? Why are you asking forgiveness? Oh, because when I was describing your beauty, I was comparing your beauty, your limbs with lotus. But when I'm seeing you directly, lotus is so insignificant in comparison with your beautiful limbs. But I didn't have any other option. I had no other option to describe your limbs, something to be compared with. Otherwise, incomparable. So then what to speak of prem? Radharani is saying, incomparable. One may not have the slightest tendency to analyze prem. But still, unless one meditates on whether or not one's actions are pleasing to Shri Krishna, it will not manifest in one's heart. Radharani is speaking about her prem. Again, one may not have the slightest tendency to analyze prem, but still, unless one meditates on whether or not one's actions are pleasing to Shri Krishna, it will not manifest in one's heart. To judge our actions, if it is there to please Krishna or not. Those actions which are there to please Krishna is called Prema Bhakti. It's called Prema Bhakti. You understand? Each and every sentence I'm repeating again. All our Gaudiya philosophies there. As Rupa Goswami Pad explained, Anya Vilashita Shunyam Gyan Karmadya Anavritam Anukulena Krishna Anushilanam Bhakti Uttama. Anukulena Krishna Anushilanam. Important point in this verse. Those activities which are not only favorable to Krishna, but which are meant to please Krishna. Not that what Krishna likes, but that which is Rochvana Pravitti. Not that what Krishna likes, but what is good for Krishna. That is prem. That's called spontaneous prem. Yashoda Maya never learned this from any scripture. She never attended any classes to understand this definition of prem. Radharani, Lalita, Vishakha Sati, they never learned this from any scriptures. When Krishna jumped into Jamuna to chastise Kaliya, that snake, then all the Sakhas running towards Jamuna to jump into Jamuna, showing their prem, showing their love. The Sakhas never went to any school or they didn't heard any Harikatha. What is this prem called? This prem called spontaneous love. Means unconditional love. It's called ahetuki prem, where there is no hetu. There is no cause for this prem. And this is termed as Ragatmika Bhakti. As Rupa Goswami Pad explaining in Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu. What is Ragatmika Bhakti? Ishte Swarski Ragam Param Avishta Yad Bhaved Tanmaya Bhaved Bhakti Sa Ragatmika Uchyate. Ishte Swarski Ragam. The spontaneous love. And that prem, that love which has no condition, spontaneous, natural. As I said, Yashoda Maya never learned this. That, oh, I have to develop love with Krishna. Sridham Subal never learned this. I have to develop love with Krishna. Radharani, Lalita, Vishakha never learned this from anyone. I have to develop love. It is spontaneous. But with us, is it spontaneous? No. Every day we have to beat our mind to explain this foolish mind. Who is the real object of love? Who is the bona fide object of love? As Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur Prabhupada saying, beat your mind 100 times with your shoe in the morning to make that foolish mind understand who is the real object of love. One who never leaves us. Everyone else leaves us. Krishna never leaves us. Waiting and waiting and waiting and waiting and waiting for love. So many lifetimes. Waiting and waiting. What is evidence? Brihad Bhagavatamritam, written by Sanatana Goswami Pad. In Brihad Bhagavatamritam, Srila Sanatana Goswami Pad explaining this. The story of Gop Kumar. Gop Kumar received this mantra and crossing all these different layers And even crossing Vaikuntha, Saket, the abode of Lord Ram, Vaikuntha, Dwarka, Mathura, crossing all those different layers. And he arrived here, Golok Vrindavan, the Gokul, that middle portion of that lotus, Shri Golok Vrindavan Dham, where Krishna was playing his flute and bringing his cows, and Gop Kumar entered into that pastime by chanting Gopal mantra. He entered in that pastime and embraced Krishna. Krishna embraced him, both crying. Srila Sanatana Goswami Pad explained, Krishna saying, "Oh Gopa, I was waiting for you from so many lives. So I sent, not I sent, I came myself as Guru to give you mantra." In Bhagavatam, when it says, Acharya Mam Vijaniya, don't consider. What is the meaning? Acharya Mam Vijaniya? I come as Acharya. I come as Guru. So it's not that Krishna invests his potency in someone and that person becomes Acharya or Guru. No. He himself comes as Acharya. Acharya Mam Vijaniya. So Anya Vilashita Shunyam, with this line. Pleasing to Shri Krishna, it will not manifest in one's heart. If the mood is not there, means the actions which are there only to please Krishna, that person can understand the language of prema. Radharani is saying this. Now, even though the slightest tendency to analyze prema may be absent, it still will not manifest in one's heart unless one meditates on whether or not one's actions are pleasing to Shri Krishna. The same philosophy. Anukulena Krishna Nushilanam. And other Anukulasya Sankalpam. Pratikulasya Vivarjanam. Accepting those which are favorable to bhakti. Rejecting those things which are unfavorable to bhakti. This is because prema is found only in a person whose natural tendency deep in his heart is to act entirely for Shri Krishna's pleasure. Natural tendency deep in his heart is to act entirely for Shri Krishna's pleasure. Understand the word entirely? 100%. Not even 0.1%. As we say in this messages, end-to-end encrypt. No? In the WhatsApp they're writing, the message end-to-end encrypt is so secure. Entirely for Shri Krishna's pleasure. What is the meaning entirely here? If we compare Madhure Ras devotees, that means three kind of ratis. Sadharani rati, Samanjasya rati, and Samartha rati. Ujjwal Nilmani, Srila Rupa Goswami Pad explaining this. You see, the words of Radharani, or we can say this prem, the definition of prem, or the mood of prem, what she is expressing. What she is expressing is, we can say, only a fraction, very insignificant fraction she is explaining in comparison of what she is holding in her heart. In her heart. And this is expressed by one of Radharani's dear and very dear Sakhi called Shirupa Manjari. When he descend as when he came as Shirupa Goswami, explaining in Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu and Ujjwal Nirmani about all these details of Bhakti Ras and details of Prem. So three kind of Rati attachments, three kind of Prem. Sadharni Rati, which is present in Kubja. Samanjasya Rati, which is there in Queens of Dwarika. And Samartha Rati, which is only present in Braj Gopis. In Samanjasya Rati means the Queens of Dwarika. What is the mood prevalent in them? The mood is there. By satisfying Krishna, we get satisfied. That means a mood of self-satisfaction is also there in satisfying Krishna. But it's not less, it's also important, because their center of attraction and their center of their object of love and their center of attraction is Krishna, no one else. When Rukmani, Satyabhama, Jamvati, Kalindi, Mitravinda, all these queens of Dwarika, they only have love for Krishna. So by hearing this, we should not be fanatical thinking, oh, Rukmani, Satyabhama, oh, we have nothing to do with them. Don't try to offend them by hearing this. Their center of love is Krishna. Their object of worship, their object of love is Krishna. And Krishna is their husband. They love Krishna dearly. But Rupa Goswami Pad explaining the categories of that pain. So when the word comes entirely for the pleasure of Krishna, this word entirely has so much specification. It cannot be with Kubja. Kubja Rati is Sadharni Rati. Ordinary like attachment. That by getting along with Krishna, I get satisfaction. So we can't say Kubja is less. Otherwise, why Sri Rupa Goswami Pad and other acharyas, they are writing about Kubja in their books. Glorious. Her Rati is with Krishna, but the mood is own satisfaction. That matters. So Sadharni Rati. So there are definitions. I have in this book, Shri Ujjwal Nirmani. I will get this book and can explain tomorrow how we define this Sadharni Rati and Samanjasya Rati with the queens of Dwarika. Satisfying Krishna, but expecting satisfaction for ourselves. But when we compare this to Samartha Rati, means Braj Gopis, as Srila Gurudev explained, what I am saying is just the words of Srila Gurudev. Sri Gurudev explained, Samartha Rati is Braj Gopis, where there is not a tinge of any self-motive prem or self-motive love or self-satisfaction in that. Nothing like that. Everything every action entirely for the pleasure of Krishna. Every action entirely for the pleasure of Krishna. And that's what Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said in Shikshashtakam. Ashlishya va padaratam pinashtu mam, mama darshana hatha va karotu va. Yatha tatha va vidhatu lampato, mad pranathu eva na paraha. Even though Krishna is cheater, debauchee, etc., they're using this word, lampato. Krishna is lampat. But if he gives me darshan, or if he don't give me darshan, if he loves me, or if he don't love me, if he gives attention to me, or if he don't give attention to me, mat pranat eva na para. Still, mat prananath, he is the Lord of my life. He is Lord of my prem. If Braj Gopis, if they are thinking, if we take it other way, that Krishna is not reciprocating the way we are loving him, then we should avoid him. We should not love him. Did they ever said that? No. They never said this. Mahaprabhu in the mood of Radharani, Krishna in the mood of Radharani speaking this. Krishna never speaks this. What Krishna speaks? Ye yatha mam pravadante tam satay bhajamyaham. You worship me in whatever proportion, in degree, I reciprocate you accordingly. That's the promise of Krishna. But when Krishna is in the mood of Radharani, as Gauranga Mahaprabhu, Jadi Gauranga na haito, tabe ki haito, keman dharit dehi. Radhara Mahima Preme Rasa Sima Jagato Janate Ke. Who? Only Mahaprabhu revealed this. Only Mahaprabhu revealed this. What is the glories of Radharani's prem? So Mahaprabhu is saying this. Ashlishla va padaratam pinashtumam. If you break my heart, or if he loves me, I have no condition in that love. I have no condition. Unconditional. I will still keep on loving him. I will still keep on loving him, no matter what happens. A sadhak also prays like this. A sadhak also prays like this. Krishna, I'm just dependent on your mercy. I am practicing according to what my Gurudev has instructed me. I am practicing this. The rest is all upon you. Krishna is independent. But that doesn't mean we don't have to pray. Prayers are there. But these prayers are there to make that relationship with Krishna, that prem, that loving relationship with Krishna. Prayers. It cannot be dry or it cannot be neutral. Prayers have to be there. The rest all depends on the sweet will of Krishna. He can uplift anyone by seeing, by feeling any pleasure of any sadhaka. He can lift anyone. Anyone drowning in this material ocean, Krishna can lift anyone. No matter of any other consideration. Anything he sees or he gets pleased with, who knows? Who knows? So Bhakti Maharani is independent. Krishna is independent. Bhaktas, Srila Gurudev is independent. But this statement is not allowing us to become lazy and crazy. Oh, if everything depends on Krishna's will, Then why I have to chant 16 rounds or 64 rounds or 100 rounds? Why Gurudev instructing us to chant 64 rounds a day? Because if we rely everything on the mercy of Krishna, that's it. And Srila Vishnu Shakti Thakur raised this question also. The same question he raised. Jiva Goswami Pad also. Why we have to then perform sadhana if we rely on the sweet will of Krishna? And the answer is yes. We need to practice very, very strong sadhana. And Srila Gurudev always used to say, like Goswamis, like Haridas Thakur. Why? To attract that attention of Krishna. To attract his attention. Hmm? To attract this attraction. That's so important. Therefore, we have to keep on performing this Navvida Bhakti every day. What is that Navvida Bhakti? Shravanam Kirtanam Vishnu Smaranam Pada Sevanam Archanam Vandanam Dasya Sakhyam Atma Nivedanam Iti Pumsam Arpita Vishnu Bhakti Navlakshana. And Bhajan Madhya Shesht Navvida Bhakti Krishna Prem Krishna Dite Dhare Mahashakti तार मध्ये सर्वश्रेष्ठ नाम संकीर्तन निरपराध नाम ले पावे प्रेमधन. Among in the process of bhakti, bhajan madhya shesht navvida bhakti. The performing 9 limbs of bhakti is superior. The performing of 9 limbs of bhakti is superior than other limbs of bhajan, which have the potency to give Krishna prem. Dhare Mahashakti possesses Mahashakti to give what? Krishna prem. Tar madhye Krishna prem dite Krishna dham Mahashakti. Tar madhye naam kirtan bhajan madhye shesh navvida bhakti Krishna prem Krishna dite dhare Mahashakti. Tar madhye sarvashresht naam sankirtan. In that 9 limbs of bhakti, naam sankirtan is prime. Nir aparad naam le pabe parimadhan. Chanting without offenses, one can very easily get parimadhan. So in that chanting, also many other specifications. Because prem, we are targeting prem. And that's why we as sadhakas, we need to know the specifications. Braj Parikars, Ragatmika Jans, they don't need any specifications. It is spontaneous. That's why it's called Ragatmika Bhakti. But following their footsteps, Ragatmika Anusmritya, so Raganuga Uchyate. Following their footsteps is called Raganuga Bhakti. And Raganuga Bhakti means what? Compliance with rules and regulations, but with love. Not with any fear of the Shastras. That, oh, I have to do this. Oh, I have to do this. Otherwise, offense. When there is fear of Shastras, then this is not Raganuga Bhakti. So, and we can't even jump on Raganuga Bhakti. Srila Gurudev always insisting, follow Vaidhi Bhakti. But, what kind of Vaidhi Bhakti? Rag Pravart Vaidhi Bhakti. Means following rules and regulations with love and affection, following the footsteps of Braj Lokanusarat, footsteps of Ragatmika, means the Brajavasis. Therefore, each and every word here is what the philosophy we all hear all the time, but Radharani explaining the definition of prem. And because we are not on the stage of spontaneous love, we are developing that. We are developing stage. And that's why we have to be acquainted with all these details of philosophy. And each and every instruction is there to helps in cultivation of that prem. Okay. This is because prem is found only in a person whose natural tendency deep in his heart is to act entirely for Shri Krishna's pleasure. Entirely for Krishna's pleasure. And this starts with prem, love with Gurudev. Entirely, everything for Srila Gurudev's pleasure. Srimad Bhagavatam 11 Canto, verse says, Itad eva sashishyad kartavya guru nishkritam yadve vishuddh bhavena sarv arth arpanam guru. 11 Canto explains the qualities, the symptoms of bona fide guru, and also explains the quality of bona fide disciple. Understand? Itad eva sashishya. Sashishya means the bona fide disciple is one who offers oneself to Guru along with one's possessions, offering body, mind, speech, and also the possessions. Sarva Arth Arpanam Guru. So much offering. Gurudev, I can serve you whole day with my body. I will remember you with my mind and also glorify you with your speech. But when the point comes to give my possessions, the object, the things which I'm in love with, I will not give those possessions to you because I need that. Bhagavatam explains this is not the symptom of bona fide disciples. Sarva Arth Arpanam Guru. One who also ready to give one's possession to Gurudev. Why it is said this? Because we are attached to our possession. We can give ourselves, but we can't give our possession. So when it is done entirely for Gurudev pleasure, as we see examples of our Gurudev, we see examples of disciples of Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur Prabhupada, they gave entirely to Srila Prabhupada. No matter brahmachari or grasta, entirely. Shri Jagbandhu Prabhu, whatever he has earned in his life, he surrendered everything to Srila Prabhupada. Shri Krishna Kesha Prabhu, he sold everything, his house, everything, to serve the mission of Srila Prabhupada. Shri Madan Mohan said, there are so many examples. And then what to speak of sannyasis? They sold everything. And that's why Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur, he gave this song. Manasa deha deha jo kichu mora arpilu tu apade Nanda Kishora. O Manasa Deha Deha Jo Kichu Mora Arpilu tu apade Nanda Kishora. Hey Nanda Kishore, manas, mind, body, and my house, and everything belongs to my house, all possessions. Jo kichu more, whatever I possess, arpilu tu apade. I offer everything to you, O Krishna. Hey Nanda Kishore. Hmm. Another bhajan says, uh, माधव हे बहुत मिनती करितो है देहि तुलसी तिला देहा समरपिनु देहि तुलसी तिला देहा समरपिनु दया जानी न छड़ो विमो दया जानी न छड़ो विमो माधव I offer myself देहि तुलसी तिला देह समर्पण I offer myself taking tulasi in my hands offer everything to you. So first it starts with entirely for Gurudev's pleasure. What he's demanding from me, what is expecting from me, and some and magic here is the same proportion of surrenderness, the same proportion of entirely pleasure for Guru uh, transforms in the same proportion to Shri Krishna. Same proportion. यस्या देवे पराभक्ति यथा देवे तथा गुरु तस्य कथितमर्थम प्रकाशन्ते महात्मना. Same proportion. Understand? So Radharani is saying entirely for Shri Krishna's pleasure. Unless one meditates on whether or not one's actions are pleasing to Krishna, the tendency to act solely for his happiness will not arise in the heart. This needs meditation. Okay, again. Unless one meditates on whether or not one's actions are pleasing to Krishna, unless we meditate on our actions, whether or not our actions are pleasing to Krishna or not, then the tendency to act solely for his happiness will not arise in his heart. That's why sometimes Krishna sits in meditation. What is meditating on? Krishna meditates on his bhaktas. Krishna meditates on Radharani. And what is that meditation about? How I have to reciprocate. Or if I'm able to reciprocate. Or how, which manner. Or if I'm able to reciprocate or not. This is what he meditates all the time. Remembering Radharani. Always remembering Radharani. That's his meditation about. Because he also wants to come to this standard of touching this prem of Radharani possessed for him. He wants to come to this level. And because he's not able to reach this level, he feels failure there. He feels totally failure. या दुस्तज्यम स्वजनम आरे पथम चहित्वा. Oh gopis, the way you have abandoned your attachments, your husband, your family, everything for me. I can't do like you. My love, my prem is distributed amongst many, but your prem, your love is only solely for me. And therefore, I fold my hands. You know, when you can't repay someone, what you say? If someone is obliging you again, again, and again, and again, 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 so many things, helping you every difficult time, every emergency, or even regular days, normal time, so much gift, so many things. Yeah. And after some time, you come to understanding, my God, oh Krishna, how can I repay that person with so much obligations on my head? Hmm. Should I think about this, or if we don't even think about that, we are ungrateful. But at least when we are thinking about this, how to repay that person, it is better situation. Yeah. But at the point when we come to understanding that, oh, I can't repay that person. So what we say in a regular uh, dealings, oh, Prabhu, I just want to say I can't repay you. But I know you are sadhu. You're a very generous person. I know your good qualities. I know you're very generous. So please accept my Dandvat Pranam because I cannot repay you. But I want to repay you. And I'm trying my very best to repay you. But I don't know how. Can you guide me something? How I can repay you? This is exactly happening with Krishna. He finally come to this point of folded hands and saying to Radharani, Na pare ham nirvadyu samyujam swasadu kritta vibudyo shapiva ya ma bhajam ya ma bhajam durje gre shinkala. That's the point. Krishna accepted his defeat. Krishna, which is always Ajit, always victorious, is Vijay, Vijay Krishna. But he accepts his defeat with folded hands. To whom he said this word? To any other category of bhakta? No. He addressed this word to any other rasa? No. Only Madhurya Ras. He accepted his defeat. Although he is always happy to accept his defeat with all other devotees. But these words, we can't take these words of Krishna so lightly. So much gravity is there. Who's saying this? Not one president of a country. If a president of a country come to the sweeper and say, oh, sweeper, I cannot repay you. You're sacrificing so much your time. It will publish in all the newspapers. Oh, the president of so and so country uh, praising, glorifying one of the employee, a sweeper in the street, of his contributions and his sacrifices and his services to the country. They will publish everywhere. This is what Mahaprabhu is trying to do. He wants to publish this in the entire spiritual world and in entire material world. He wants to publish this. Krishna folded hands. to Radharani saying, Na pareham nirvadya samvidam. I cannot repay you. I cannot repay you. I cannot repay you. But I want to repay you. So what is Gauranga Mahaprabhu Leela? What is Mahaprabhu Leela? Trying to repay that. How repaying this? This bhajan. Jadi Gauranga nahi to tabe ki hai to ke man dhari ta Radhara Mahima Premera Sasima Jagat Janatoge. Krishna as Gauranga Mahaprabhu is spreading this, spreading this, spreading this amongst his associates, amongst to the people in journal, and to all this information. He's publishing this. What is publishing? Na jane Radha prem ache kotobal. Se bale ama sada kore bivol. I don't understand what is that prem in Radharani. I don't understand this. What is the strength of that prem, that love in Radharani? I don't understand this. And everyone is stuck with wonder hearing this. What? Not an ordinary person is saying this. The Supreme Personality of Godhead. Anadir Adir Govindah Sarva Karanam Karanam. Iti Chans Kala Pumstam Krishnastu Bhagwan Swayam. Huh? The one who is cause of all causes, he's saying this. Not an ordinary person saying this. So he bent, he bowed down the prema of Radharani. And this is what she is expressing. Very interesting topic, actually. Very interesting topic. We are praying, or we are singing, or we are saying Krishna Prem, Krishna Prem, Krishna Prem. When will I get Krishna Prem? What is Prem? What is Krishna? Who can tell us better? Only Radharani. One who possesses the highest Prem. Only she can explain this. And this is exactly what we are hearing. We're trying to hear this. How many of us we are understanding this? I don't know. Because Prem means sacrifice. It needs sacrifice. When there is no sacrifice, no Prem. Who will understand this? One who understands, one who feels the gravity of that Prem in the heart. So we are very fortunate. Under the guidance of Gurudev and Acharyas, what Radharani explaining the Prem of Krishna, we are hearing that. Direct source. What can be the big source than that? So she is expressing her heart. To whom? I'm repeating this so that we should not lost in that. Lost in so many straights and bends and different curves. Hearing the philosophy and the Ras Vichar and the Tat Vichar. That's why I have to remind again and again. We are hearing Radharani directly expressing the definition of the word Prem. Elaborating on this definition of word Prem. To whom? Directly to Krishna. When Krishna disguised himself as heavenly God. And Radharani wants to make this heavenly girl as her friend, her Sakhi. So let me finish this one line. Unless one meditates on whether or not one's actions are pleasing to Krishna, the tendency to act solely for his happiness will not arise in the heart. In that case, only the tendency to perform activities to fulfill the desire for one's own happiness will appear, and then prema cannot arise. That's the last line of this paragraph, of this verse. In that case, here again. In that case, only the tendency to perform activities to fulfill the desire for one's own happiness will appear, and then prema cannot arise. In Hindi we have saying, हिंदी वाले लोग समझते हैं, एक म्यान में दो तलवार नहीं रह सकती. Two things cannot stay along. One is Krishna Prem, another is my happiness. In the heart, only one can survive. If we really want that Krishna Prem, to understand that love, I think many new devotees who are hearing me, you understand when I say Prem, Prema here means love, but I'm not using the word love. Prema is more refined and suitable in this context when Radharani is speaking to Krishna. So when the activities to fulfill the desire for one's own happiness will arise, will appear, then prema cannot arise. I have to chant Harinam. I have to fast on Ekadashi. I have to do this. I have to do that. When the point comes, I have to do this. And by doing this, I'll get some pleasure. By hearing Hari Katha, by hearing Radha Tattva, by hearing Krishna Tattva, by hearing Prema, after hearing, I feel so soothing because something happened in my life in the past. And by hearing this, now I'm developing some good mood. It really appeals to my heart. I feel so pleasure, enlightening me. So everything this, whatever I said, everything is me, giving pleasure to me, soothing to me. I'm getting out of something which happened in my life. So when every of such things centered towards me means my happiness, then it's totally different story as compared to I'm doing this for the pleasure of Krishna. I'm hearing Hari Katha because for the pleasure of Krishna. He feels it, it delights him if anyone hear about his topics. He delights himself when he hears his own pastimes. He delights to him when he hears his own pastimes. This is what I want to say. He's so glad to hear his own pastimes. Shunvatam swakatha punya shravan kirtane. Hide anto sai habadarani vinotim surinsatam. That is for us. When we hear the punya katha, the pure pastimes of Shri Krishna, then all unwanted desires or unwanted things in the heart get destroyed. But then again, this is for me. When Krishna hears his own pastimes, which is pleasing for his own ears, means his own actions, his own activities, which we call them pastimes, is pleasing to his ears. And he becomes Lord Jagannath. And he becomes Mahaprabhu, wants to hear his own pastimes. You see? Mahaprabhu is hearing his own. Mahaprabhu being Krishna, hearing his own names, sweetness of his names. Mahaprabhu as Krishna, hearing his own pastimes. Bhagavatam, every day in the house of Shiva's Pandit. Mahaprabhu is hearing that, speaking that. Mahaprabhu going to Shri Tota Gopinath in Jagannath Puri and hearing Srimad Bhagavatam from Sri Gadadhar Pandit. His own pastimes he's hearing. How much important is that? So, following, observing Ekadashi fasting, observing Janmashtami, Radhashtami, any special days. And I'm preparing everyone because very soon, just maybe 5 or 6 more days, Purushottam month going to start. We have to prepare ourselves, prepare our mind to follow this 1 month purely, yeah, and dedicated to Krishna and the guidance of Radharani and Goshala Gurudev. We are observing this, we are going to observe this month. Don't say we are sacrificing for Krishna. Rather, we should say, we should think, whatever I'm going to do, whatever vow I'm going to take for 1 month, for the pleasure of Krishna, may he get pleased. And for that, I have to give up those things which are I'm attached to him. Krishna arthe akhil bhog tyag. For the sake of Krishna, giving up my sense gratification, but for the pleasure of Krishna. Not that by following 1 month, observing 1 month vrata, after that I'll get some shanti, peaceful. I'll get some more peacefulness, or any other description, A, B, C, D, whatever it is, but only for the pleasure of Krishna, pleasure of my Gurudev. So chanting, hearing, reading Srimad Bhagavatam in this month, from the point of birth of Krishna, all these 90 chapters related to Krishna. It's very auspicious to read that. Because if we keep on meditating on Krishna day and night, naturally we develop love with that person. 90 chapters in Bhagavatam explain about Krishna. So 30 days and 90 chapters. 3 chapters a day. Reading 3 chapters a day, chanting 64 rounds, and hearing 1 hour class. And I'm still thinking, maybe we will come again to the point of chanting all together Harinam for 1 hour, Maha Mantra, because I have some seva and some service to do. So I will see if I'm able to do that, chanting 1 hour. We all can chant together 1 hour Harinam as we were doing months back. So in this way, chanting, reading 3 chapters, hearing 1 hour class. It says 1 hour, but it goes 1 hour 30 minutes sometimes, or sometimes 2 hours. And then chanting 64 rounds. Day goes. Months will fly very fast. And soon we will feel, oh, 1 month already passed. Relax. No, get up. Kartik month is coming soon. Okay. So we will try our best, and we will going to hear more and more following days. Tomorrow again, same time. Saturday, I'm busy with one program, house program. So Saturday will not be a class because I have to go very far somewhere for a one program. So Saturday will not be class. So tomorrow, same time. And then of course Sunday, same time. Gaur Premanande, Hari Hari Bol. Bolo Shri Radha Rani ki Jai. Hare Krishna. राधे राधे राधे, जय 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 श्री राधे। 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 बोलो राधे राधे राधे, जय 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 श्री राधे। 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 राधा रानी की जय, महारानी की जय। राधा रानी की जय, महारानी की जय। ओ राधा रानी की जय, महारानी की जय। राधा रानी की जय, महारानी की जय। बोलो राधा कुंड वाली की जय जय जय। बोलो राधा कुंड वाली की जय जय जय। निताय गौर हरि बोल, हरि बोल, हरि बोल, हरि बोल। निताय गौर हरि बोल, हरि बोल, हरि बोल, हरि बोल। गौर प्रेमानंदे हरि हरि बोल। श्री गुरुदेव की